this is an LSU team that's trying to wake itself up here. They've been through a tough off season. Mike Archer got them together on the auspicious date now of January 22nd and asked which one of them wanted to contribute to a championship, and if you didn't, get out. And they started working out twice a day. This team has paid the price. They're a young team. They're excited.
Second down 2. Here is Odell Beckham driven down hard. Close to the first down. Steve Meads, the weak side linebacker, made the hit for the Commodores.
They had a little problem last year with some dissension and a little bit of too much individuality. And in this game, you win as a team. You fail as individuals. And so that's the spirit they've tried to recreate in this LSU bunch, and they've done a good job to this point. And this is when you got to call on that spirit.
Bring in the sticks here to make the measurement down inside the 20-yard line of Vanderbilt. 9:08 remaining in the third quarter. And that's going to be an LSU first down. This will be the 9th play on this drive coming up for the Tigers. So it's been run. Just moments ago, Vanderbilt with a 2-to-1 rushing edge, but LSU making up for that now. 3 deep at the tailback position. Harvey Williams, Calvin Wyndham, and Odell Beckham. All pretty good players. The real horse there, of course, Harvey Williams. Beckham is in there now.
Did you talk to the coaches, Bob? They like Beckham.
Beckham's a sophomore out of Texas. This is Seamster, the fullback, not much.
That's one thing that's indicative of a Doug Matthews coach defense, and people that get around the ball. You know, last year he was at Tennessee, and he was dealing with different players, you know, and they were stronger and bigger, and it's a lot easier to plan a defense around good athletes. And so this year he's going to have to be a little bit creative, but he's still trying to get his philosophy of defense across.
This will be second down 8 from the 18-yard line. Pitch back here to Beckham. Penalty markers go down. Beckham also goes down at the 13. Gandolfo will get credit for the tackle. The penalty marker went down at an LSU player around the left side, often indicating offensive holding. They were trying to run around the tight end, Harold Bishop.
Got holding against the offense on the run, 10 yards from the line of scrimmage, repeating second down.
Now here goes LSU shooting themselves in the foot again after ripping up big chunks of yardage.
And Vanderbilt is employing the LSU philosophy of defense. It's Florida. At Florida, it's pretty much come get you, and that's what Jim Bates likes to do. At the LSU, it's the bend but don't break type of thing, and eventually the offense will make a mistake and stop themselves. Let's see if LSU can overcome this mistake.
Williams and Beckham are the backs in there for LSU on second down 18. They move it back to the 27-yard line. That's Beckham in motion, 33. And Graves stumbling, wants to throw, has a man. It is complete, short of the first down, and out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Marcus Carter, the receiver, gain of 14 yards.
Let's watch this in the secondary. Vandy. Graves almost goes down, regains his footing. The Vanderbilt defensive backs get crossed up a little bit. They're in man-to-man, ran into each other, and Marcus Carter was alert, brought himself back, and brought himself down in bounds.
LSU third down 3 at the 12 of Vanderbilt. Significant play in this ball game. Beckham didn't get it. Beckham is going to be stopped about a yard short of the first down marker, and now a decision to be made by LSU's coach. We're going to listen to the hit here as we go through this replay, and Mike Archer will have to decide on kicking or going for it. Walker and Francis making noise for you down there. Walker's number 4. They're going for it. 4th down and 1 at the 10.
Donnelly's always close to the action, too, getting his head in there.
Beckham gets the first down. Second effort as he rolled over Gary Rogers, the linebacker, who had hit him first, and it'll be first down goal LSU. We're down to only 6:55 remaining in the third quarter here. Only 2 drives.
And you know that the LSU offensive brain trust, Zombrecker and Archer, are aware of the fact that they're not going to have many cracks at it today the way things are going. You just can't plan on having the ball a lot of times.
First down goal from the 8-yard line. Vandy leading by 10. Hand off Beckham. He's got a hole. He's ahead of the 6. Gets about 2 on the right side.
Vanderbilt now blitzing. Vanderbilt now coming in the gaps, and they're going after him. And, this is a time that, they're going to get a man-to-man matchup on the outside, and it might be a time to go to Kitchen.
Kitchen, of course, the junior wide receiver, number 49. Had 11 receptions coming into this game. Has caught only 1 ball here, the only one thrown to him. Double tight ends, Jenkins and Bishop in there for LSU. Second down, goal at 5, just outside the 5. And Vanderbilt with a critical penalty there, offsides, right in the middle.
And Darrell Williams just did something, and he's playing fullback for LSU that he ran out. It was going to be a play
The ball
pass.
was snapped. We had encroachment by the defensive team with contact. It's still second down.
But if they jump off sides, you just soon not have them know what you have called. And
they know now.
Now they knew what that one was going to be anyway.
That's half the distance down just outside the 3-yard line.
Kitchen is in there. He's a short yardage blocker too. He's a close in flanker, but also a great wily receiver. Very clever and can find an opening.
Now the officials are going to move the Vanderbilt players back. They had gathered all the way down there. You talk about intense. This is a team that lost 44-7 to SMU. Watson Brown saying, give us a break. We have a 10-point lead here.
You're right. I can stand in this white spot when you get back over there. They have stayed in this game emotionally. Their players are up. Their players are down there paying attention.
Second down goal from the 3. LSU trailing by 10 on the drive. Kitchen motion. Hand off Beckham. Touchdown, LSU. Beckham took it right up the gut. He's the sophomore, his first touchdown of the year. Well, the margin narrows now to 17-13 with the point after coming up. You got a feeling the team with the ball last scored. Normally when you say that, you're talking 45-44. We're talking about only 3 drives per team in the first half, and this is only the second drive here, and we have only 5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
And especially looking at Vanderbilt, LSU, 2 teams that in the last few years have thrown the ball all over the park.
Penalty marker is down in the secondary of Vanderbilt. If it's against Vanderbilt, that'll be assessed on the kickoff. So we'll hold it just for a moment and see. They haven't put up the extra point again. They're going to say 12 men for Vanderbilt, and that'll be assessed on the kickoff. But right now, Vanderbilt leads by a score of
Illegal
7.
participation by the defense. The extra point is good. We'll take the 15-yard penalty on the kickoff.
14-14. We'll be right back. His 3-yard run makes it 17-14. Vanderbilt now with a 3-point lead.
In the center, Blake Miller and Darren Landry, number 76, do an excellent job. And Beckham just follows that block. Landry just too much for Gandolfo to handle down there. He's just outsized. And Watson's response, he's got a 3-point lead. Probably. If you'd have told him yesterday that he'd be ahead by 3 points with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, I think he might be a little surprised.
Harrison to touch it down. Vanderbilt will bring it out to the 20, where it will be first down and 10. So LSU went 71 yards in 13 plays in nearly 7 minutes to get their touchdown.
And I believe 1 pass, right? Just throwing the ball, and they've got it up the middle. In that 4-4 defense, the way they're spread out right now, you've got an inexperienced middle linebacker. They can continue to run up the middle, but I would assume that Vanderbilt is more concerned about a quick score coming from the outside. So they're favoring their attention out there. They're focusing their attention to the perimeter of the defense.
Making LSU go the long way.
Right.
5:25 to go third quarter. Vandy by 3. 73-yard drive for Vanderbilt last time. Up with about a 5-yard run by Sam Chalmers, a redshirt freshman from Rochester, Pennsylvania, number 20.
And they continue to bang away at the left side of that LSU defense. And Chalmers, a fine young fullback, he probably would have played a lot as a true freshman last year if he hadn't broken his hand. Watson's got himself some good young players here now.
Second down 5 at the 25. They break the wishbone apart. handed off to Chalmers, who gets about 3 where there were none available initially. As he bounced off the stack, Mark Boutte gets credit for the tackle, along with David Walkup, the right inside linebacker for LSU. So it's a conversion situation for Vanderbilt now. 3rd down and 2. Total offense in this ball game, as you can see, Vanderbilt with amazing 229 yards. It's wishbone statistics. This is Marcus Wilson keeping it. He's got running room. Out of bounds at the 45. Marcus Wilson bringing back memories to this Vanderbilt crowd of one Eric Jones. And Watson Brown says Wilson may have more athletic ability.
Okay, we're going to try this here. Okay, there's the guy that they're reading. If he closes, he's supposed to pull it out. If he comes off, then he gives it to the fullback. And now they're going to option off the second man here. Let's see what happens here. As he comes down the line of scrimmage, rides the fullback in, closes, and Hewitt fought upfield. And I'm not sure who was responsible for the quarterback. Whoever had that responsibility didn't take it.
Corey Harris to the 47-yard line.
Hewitt was to the pitch, and it looks like they sealed the linebacker who was scraping to get the quarterback coming upfield.
3:54 to go, 3rd quarter. Vanderbilt leading it by 3. An educated arm yet, and he's running this wishbone very effectively.
And he's not putting the ball on the ground. I mean, he's making good decisions, and he's delivering the ball to the backs. And usually in this wishbone, 4 or 5 times a game, you're going to see that ball flopping. You know, he doesn't make a good pitch. The halfback drops the ball. They've played impeccably here, doing a fantastic job.
3rd and less than a yard at the 45. Marcus Wilson dives and gets the 1st down. Vanderbilt keeps the drive alive. Clock continues to run. 2:44 to go in the 3rd quarter.
And it's no secret that they're vulnerable on defense. But right now, their defense is sitting down. And Saul Graves is down here on the sideline trying to keep his arm warmed up.
And you have to start asking if you're LSU about your vulnerability on defense now, because LSU can't seem to stop these 1st downs. It takes Vanderbilt 3 times almost always to get the 1st down, but they seem to be getting it. Wilson keeps it this time. There he goes again. Wilson to the 23-yard line. A star in the making here at Vanderbilt. This is an exciting young football player. Sophomore Marcus Wilson out of Louisville, Kentucky.
Well, they better check the responsibility on the quarterback here. Linebackers going down, walk up tied inside. Robbie Green gets picked off. LSU is losing its lateral movement, and that's how this defense is designed. As Marcus Wilson finds a crack and goes.
134 yards rushing for Marcus Wilson in this ball game. From the 23 of LSU. That's Carter in motion. Wilson's going to keep it and try it again. Bad decision that time. I don't know if that was a broken play or not, but it looked broken.
Well, it looked like everybody went one way and Marcus went the other way. So that happens occasionally.
Thanks, Marcus. We're just setting you up for All-American honors here. The young man will be just happy to get out of this game with a good grade on the coaching film, I think.
There's Steve Sloan. 17 years ago, as we had mentioned, SEC Coach of the Year here at Vanderbilt, and you know he's got a tremendous amount of input here.
This will be 2nd down 12 from the 24. Wilson again, keeping it, turning up, getting back to the 21. This time Leonard Harris made the stop. Last year Wilson was a freshman, of course, but had only 38 yards rushing all year. Now he has right around 130 in this ball game.
You know, and that time Hewitt played that perfectly. Played that little cat and mouse game with him and held off the pitch, forced.
Shura will try a 37-yard field goal. And it is no good. He misses wide to the right. And that's a big, big miss. Mark it down, folks, because it is that low-scoring a game. Vanderbilt having trouble stopping LSU, as is the opposite. And the team that doesn't score has got a problem each drive. what would have been a first down reception. Chura misses the 37-yard field goal attempt, and Vanderbilt leads 17-14 with only 38 seconds to go in the third quarter. Next Saturday, Tim and I will be in Gainesville, Florida, where Rocky Felker's Mississippi State Bulldogs will be looking to upset the 17th ranked Florida Gators. Our coverage begins at 12:30 Eastern here on TBS. So now LSU will see what they can do. 79 yards away from taking the lead in this ball game. Vanderbilt 17, LSU 14. Beckham gets a couple on the right side. He's hit by Ashley Stanford. They'll spot it just inside the 25-yard line. Again, the clock running. This will probably be the final offensive play of the third quarter, save for pass incompletion. It's a passing offense. Slot right formation for Saul Graves and LSU. Pitch and run to Beckham on the left side. Beckham breaking tackles. He gets the first down. That'll stop the clock, but it stops it at triple zeros. That's the end of the third quarter. Vanderbilt leading 17-14, a gain of 11 by LSU. LSU with the ball trailing by 3, and you see 22 Harvey Williams on the sideline. Tim, you asked an interesting question while we were away for our commercial break at the end of the third and before the beginning of the fourth quarter. That's, where is Harvey Williams, the man who scored 4 touchdowns last week?
Yeah, and it looks like he's grabbing the back of his left leg, and you see him there next to Cal Wyndham. He's also nicked, and so that leaves it to Beckham. Now they've got the youngster in there, and they certainly would rather have a veteran in that position at this time in a football game, somebody that's handled this kind of pressure before. But it looks like Williams is sitting down, and Wyndham.
So Beckham, 33, is the tailback. First down and 10 for LSU. Here comes Seamster, the fullback, out to the 43-yard line. The statistics through 3 quarters of play. Vanderbilt with 255 rushing, 90 yards more than LSU. LSU with a few more passing yards. Vanderbilt leading it by 3. It's been that close a game, and another player is down for LSU. It looks like,
I think it's Wesley Jacob.
Wesley Jacob. Exactly, Tim. And they're helping him off. Look at his left knee. Let's hope that'll be all right. Wesley Jacob, by the way, is the flanker, a sophomore.
And Jerry Sullivan, the receiver coach, said he's really made a lot of progress. Played a little bit as a true freshman last year, but he and Marcus Carter are a good counter to Todd Kinchin.
Seamster and Beckham. Beckham with the ball from the tailback spot. Once again, gets through the line of scrimmage. Then is hauled down, but he got the first down inside Vanderbilt territory. To about the 47-yard line goes Odell Beckham, a sophomore from Marshall, Texas. Mike Archer sending in plays from the sideline.
Let's watch it work here. Truax chasing down his man. They just miss up front, and good balance. Robert Davis gives him a crack and hangs on, and Donnelly and Walker come to help out. One thing that's different about this Vanderbilt football team than football teams we've seen in the past, Bob, is their secondary tackles well. And once they are through there, they don't go all the way.
There's the fake, and now the pass. Graves. It's incomplete. Picked off by Vanderbilt, intended for Kitchen, but incomplete because the defensive back, Chris Donnelly, landed out of bounds. Oh, my.
And Donnelly did a fine job of staying at home there, Bob. They were looking to get him into the pursuit, get behind the cornerback, and Donnelly just did a fine job of protecting him here because he goes to throw it, and he wants to let it go now, but Donnelly had not bitten. You see Donnelly still there, goes up. SEC Player of the Year on defense last year, makes a beautiful stop.
Seamster gets about 2. This is going to bring up a 3rd down and 7 or 8 for LSU. A critical 3rd down conversion situation for the Tigers. They are 1 out of 3 today. Now that tells you something about the offense. They've only had to go for 1st down on 3rd 3 times all day. Vanderbilt otherwise has had to go for it 14 times. 3rd and 7 from the 44. Vanderbilt sending him after Graves. He has time, has a man there. It's Ketchen. He can't hold it. Unbelievable. You won't see Todd Ketchen drop an obvious touchdown reception like that again this year. He had beaten Derek Willem, the true freshman, and dropped it.
You got the nickel defense in, true freshman in covering Willem. Just lets him go too long, turn and run. You got to get out of your back pedal before that. Ball is on the money. Saul Graves right there. And Todd's brother Brian is probably watching down in Miami. Can't believe it either. Good job of protection. Everything perfect here. Ball delivered on time.
Griffith trying to angle it out of bounds. He did a great job previously. This one, however, into the end zone. Vanderbilt, they should be going on the sideline. Will take over at the 20. Basketball of the Chicago Bulls, recently of the Commodores. Will Perdue, Rich Will Perdue, who was outstanding.
Rich, now you don't mean that's not his name, is it? Is that an adjective?
You may as well include it with those NBA players. Will came on strong, had a good season for the Bulls last year. He's saying now he's got to get Michael to get him the ball more. Marcus Wilson on the right gets out to the 22.5-yard line, and Vanderbilt now hoping to maintain another one of their time-consuming ball-control drives, but Vanderbilt will know that this time if they get down around the 20, they're going to have to get points on the board, leading only by 3. Last time, Chura missed a 37-yard field goal, and Anthony Carter dropped what would have been a first down pass at the 10. Johnson in motion. The pitch to Johnson. Close to the first down. They say he went out right at the 30. That'll give him the first down, depending on the spot Anthony Marshall was covering.
You got to get a defensive back in there faster than that. Either Marshall or the corner, somebody's got to come faster than that. Just got a report from the sideline that both Williams and Wyndham have hamstrings.
So Williams, of course, we're talking about Harvey Williams, who a lot of people think could be the best back in the SEC, but could be is only after you conclude the season. I hope you'll be all right. Now, Mike Ely has gone in at quarterback for Vanderbilt. A surprise change here. Let's hope Wilson is okay. Here's Healy giving it to Johnson. Johnson finding about 4 yards on the right side. As we look over to the far sideline, I do not see Marcus Wilson. We'll check on what the story is. There he is in the picture. He's obviously shaken up a little bit. And Healy, who started against SMU, the 6'1 sophomore from Cincinnati, is in there to run it. But I'm betting that Wilson will be back in there if he's all right.
Well, Sloan has confidence in Healy and his decision-making ability. He just doesn't have the quick feet. He can't hurt you as much keeping the ball.
On the second down, Healy. We're going to let him keep it. He gets about 3 or 4. It'll bring up third down and short yardage for Vanderbilt. A couple of plays ago, here's what happened. Watch number 11, Marcus Wilson. It's why he's on the sideline. See that left leg bent back.
Kind of stuck underneath.
Looks like he's about to come back on the field and does. Marcus Wilson's back. So Healy doesn't do any damage down there, and that's tough to step in there for only 2 plays. It'll be third down 3. Vanderbilt with their 15th third down conversion attempt of the day. They've been successful 10 times. Wilson drives close to the first down. Oh, this is going to be a spot situation. If it's 4th, it'll be 4th and inches.
And Carlos Thomas did a nice job of loading on Mike Hewitt, hooking him inside and giving Marcus Wilson a chance to work outside. Look at Hewitt. He's had his hands full all day. Hadn't had much help. Carlos gets into him. He's not able to shed him in time to really get there and put the stopper on Marcus Wilson. Hewitt has played well all day long. He just needs to get that secondary in there a little bit quicker.
We've seen the old use the index card to see if it's a first down. Well, that's about the distance that Vanderbilt will have to go on 4th down.
They've snuck it before.
And he did it again, just barely. LSU's surge was there, but Marcus Wilson, using his athletic body, rolls around the side, and I believe they're going to award Vanderbilt the first down to keep the drive alive just outside the 40. Needed literally maybe an inch. First down, Vanderbilt. Well, they're going to bring the chains over, but it was started at the 20, went to the 30, and I would think at the 40 would be first down, but let's see. Here come the stick. We're talking inches here, folks. Well, Vandy's 2 out of 3 on fourth down conversions as they get it.
See Brothen and Wharton. Wharton trying to get underneath, and he does an excellent job this time of penetrating and getting underneath Brothen, lifting him up. That's why Wilson had such a difficult time. Nice job by Scott Wharton. It's been a tough afternoon for he and Bo Davis who are working on Kevin Brothen.
10 minutes to go in this game. Vanderbilt leads by 3 on the drive. First down. Wilson to Carlos Thomas, breaks off the tackle stack and gets about 3. Carlos Thomas continues to add to his total of rushing for the afternoon. There are so many ball carriers for Vanderbilt. He's got around 60 yards now. Vanderbilt up near 300.
Because of the LSU scheme of defense, they've been conditioned to be patient. And it's just amazing that Vanderbilt has been able to run pretty much penalty-free and error-free on offense.
Second down 7 at the 43. Wilson pitches to Mark Johnson. Mark Johnson first down. Inside LSU territory goes halfback Mark Johnson. Once again, the classic wishbone at work there. The fake to the fullback, the fake by the quarterback, and then the pitch.
Watch Anthony Marshall come into your picture, number 14. He's the one that's got to get in this alley. The ball is pitched, he's got to be there. He was saying that he was pushed by number 25, complaining about that, Tony Jackson, but didn't look like Tony gave him much of a shove. Anthony's got to break down in that hole, make the stop, make the play.
First down at the 47. This is Carlos Thomas. He's got 2 to 45 and no more. Clock once again continuing to run at 8:50 and counting.
And the left side of the line for Vanderbilt and LSU's defensive right, where Swan is hanging out and Boutte is hanging out, have been, they've been on vacation. They're just working that right side over, into the sideline, into the sideline, into the sideline.
Second down 8 from the 45 for Vanderbilt. The wishbone churning up nearly 300 yards rushing so far today. Here's Marcus Wilson. He got about 2 or 3. So here comes the 16th third down conversion play for Vanderbilt.
And Leonard Harris penetrated there. And there's another key player today that's that's playing hurt with a hamstring. Leonard Harris. They had to move John Morgan from the right side over the left side. Hadn't had much experience there, and that may not sound too complicated to a viewer, but it's like trying to write, if you're right-handed, it's like trying to write left-handed. It's just very uncomfortable. You're not used to seeing things coming at you from that direction.
Third and a long 6 for Vanderbilt. At the 43, Marcus Wilson has to put it in the air. Has a man there. Is it picked off? Yes! It is picked off by Anthony Marshall at the 26-yard line of LSU, intended for Clarence Civilian. Now there's the inexperience. Wilson tried to force it in between 2 defenders.
You see Anthony Marshall, redshirt freshman, just big lanky guy getting his head around, and Wilson looking and guns it down the middle. Civilian trying to get there, can't do it. Great catch by Anthony Marshall.
First down 10 from the 27, LSU trailing by 3. 7:40 to go, and Chad Luke, 16, back in at quarterback. He hands it to Beckham. That's about 3, out to the 30.
You'd really feel a whole lot better if you had Harvey Williams or Cal Wyndham in there. Beckham not used to running behind this line, although he is going to develop into a great player. You'd like someone that could see the blocks a little bit quicker and hit it into the open field, someone that ran with a little bit more confidence. Although he's a talented young man, on a drive like this, you want your most experienced players in there.
See confusion on the part of the LSU offense on second down 7 at the 30. Luke rolling the throw, hit as he throws. It's complete to Beckham. Beckham to the 45-yard line of Vanderbilt. Chris Donnelly made the stop. Gain of 25 yards. Gandolfo came right up the chute at Luke, but he still got the ball away.
Here comes Gandolfo. They're almost in time. A hair too late. Beckham makes the catch. Put it away, Odell. If that ball is out there like that, scares you to death.
First time Beckham caught a pass this year. First down 10 from the 45-yard line. LSU trailing by 3. Late fourth quarter. And off to the fullback. That's Darrell Williams. He struggles forward for about 5. And got that on his own. Rod Keith will get credit for the tackle for the Commodores. Clock down to 6:22.
Doug Matthews being a little bit more aggressive now on defense. Becomes more important to stop them earlier here, trying to keep them out of field goal range, preserve this victory.
Slot left formation. Kinchin and Scott Ray over there. And there's that penetration Tim was talking about. Darrell Williams broke one tackle, but the pursuit by Vanderbilt was there. Rod Keith, 97, shooting right up the middle.
And defensively, Rod Keith has had an exceptional game. They worked him at linebacker during the spring as you watch Gandolfo get there to help out. But moved him back to defensive end and because of injuries.
Now we have third down 10, LSU. With Vanderbilt's ability to hold on to the ball so far, they're going to get a timeout here, Vanderbilt, to talk it over on the sideline. Gandolfo didn't like what was happening out there. He's the middle linebacker. This obviously is a very significant play both ways with a 3-point Vandy lead. Freshman Chad Luke concludes his conversation with Mike Archer back out. Third down 10 LSU at the 46 of Vanderbilt, trailing by 3, 5:25 remaining in the game. Slot right formation. It's Seamster and Beckham in the backfield. Luke has time to throw on the roll, has a man wide open, and it is complete for the first down. It was Sammy Seamster. Beautiful play action. Everybody flowing right. Luke rolled over and got his fullback. Big play.
And this is a big play for the young redshirt freshman who was just moved into the second spot a week before the season opened when Chris Mook broke his ankle. And Sammy Seamster has become a real important part of that offense. A good blocker and showing that he's got good hands.
May have been the biggest play of the day for LSU if they can go on to score. Here is Beckham. Nothing this time. Maybe a yard, if that. Meads with his 7th tackle of the day out of the weak side linebacker position for Vanderbilt.
Meads, Gandolfo, Rogers all getting there together.
5 minutes to go in this ball game. It'll be second down 9 LSU. They're getting within field goal range, but LSU has a very inexperienced, inconsistent kicker also in Pedro Suarez, the sophomore. He's had 2 blocks this year. If you're thinking field goal and tie here, sure that's not what Mike Archer is thinking.
No, Archer wants to get into the end zone.
Here is Beckham. Vanderbilt closing hard on Beckham after about 2 that time. So here's the third down conversion coming up again. It'll be third and more than 5.
I don't know if you noticed, Bob, but Beckham seems to run pretty much straight up and down to me. And, you know, when you start heading in there through the line, you better protect yourself a little bit. These guys are even bigger than those folks down in Texas.
So it'll be third down and 6. Again, the conversion situation. Does LSU take it to the air? Chad Luke, the freshman quarterback, at the 31 of Vanderbilt. On the draw play, Seamster, big hole. Boy, Vanderbilt bit on that one, and it's down to the 16-yard line. Chris Donnelly finally made the stop. That was like the coaches drawing up a gain of 15.
Well, you got a man-to-man defense here by Vanderbilt, and if you can wall off a man on a draw, then it's going to be a problem. Let's watch what happens here as one of the Vanderbilt linebackers gets walled off. Bang. Good job of blocking by Chris Truax downfield, and a big gain for LSU. Great call.
3:41 to go in the game. Beckham wants to get it outside, has a wall again. Beckham! Touchdown LSU, an incredible second effort by Beckham for the touchdown and a gain of 16 yards on the left side. LSU has taken the lead for the first time in this game. Now think of this, 3:34 to go, and Vanderbilt is a wishbone team up chunks of time on the clock. It'll be tough to move it and have enough time. Although 3.5's probably enough to get the first downs.
Yeah, Marcus Wilson has the arm. Great job of blocking there by Harold Bishop, the tight end. Good job. Opened it up for Becker.
Torres. Point after's good. It's a 4-point bulge. 21-17 LSU. 3.5 minutes to go in the game. From the 21-yard line, Vanderbilt. Marcus Wilson may try to put it in the air. He's got some time here. Staying with the option. Now throwing. It is complete out at the 23.5-yard line. And let's go to our studios in Atlanta and Ron Thulin.
Thank you, Bob Neal. Let's go back to Little Rock, Arkansas. Ole Miss leading Arkansas 14-9 in the third quarter. Arkansas quarterback Quinn Grovey looks to pass, rolls left, scores from 11 yards out. Razorbacks went for the two-point conversion. It was good, and they now lead Mississippi by 3. Let's go back to Bob.
Second down, 7, Vanderbilt from the 24, and Mike Healy is in at quarterback in place of Marcus Wilson on this second down play. Passing formation here. Healy does pass. Jackson doesn't get the first down. Easy to see up here. He just went the wrong way. Stopped at the 30, needs to go to the 31.
He doesn't get out of bounds either. Clock is running.
Clock down to 3:05 and counting. And LSU leading 21-17.
You know, not that critical if you throw the ball a lot, but as you mentioned, with the wishbone attack, you need more time to chew up the real estate here.
Now third down and less than a yard. Vanderbilt's been successful here today, but Healy is in place of Marcus Wilson at quarterback. They give it to Carlos Thomas. He breaks through and gets about 7 or 8 yards out here to the 38-yard line. 2:40 to go. Vanderbilt has 2 timeouts remaining. Remember, they used a defensive timeout previously. They start the clock at 2:35, 2:34 and counting. Vanderbilt down by 4 points. Healy's going to throw it. He was trying to get the ball to Eric Weir. Just missed him. Weir was open momentarily. Did stop the clock with 2:23. LSU's had 2 wins and hoping to have it 3 in a row.
And he threw it in David Walkup's area. And David Walkup is about as good as linebacker I've seen in a long time in recognizing patterns and looking up the receivers instead of just staring at the quarterback. And he gets himself in the right spot.
Second down 10. Vanderbilt putting themselves in a passing situation here. They've broken the wishbone apart for Healy. Threw it right into the onrushing Wharton. And it'll be third down and 10. Well, that's, you know, the wishbone does a lot of things for you in terms of keeping your defense off the field. But when you've got to break it up and go to the passing game, it's certainly difficult. I don't care which team you are.
Well, whenever you're trying to do something that you haven't done a lot, it's tough. It's like you and me playing golf, you know. It doesn't look good.
That is, I play a lot. It still doesn't look good. That doesn't hold up for me. Third and 10. LSU was offsides. A free play and a courageous grab by Weir, who is level out of the 46. That'll be a Vanderbilt first down. The penalty was against LSU for defensive offside.
First down.
Big stick by Anthony Marshall. I mean, you don't want those receivers to want to come down the middle. Mike Healy steps up, makes a throw right on time, and as you mentioned, just a courageous catch. Great concentration. Was that McCorvey that leveled him?
Yes, and Eric Weir is only a freshman from Houston, Texas. So Vanderbilt keeps it alive inside LSU territory, trailing by 4, under 2 minutes to go in the game. Taken across the middle. This is Corey Harris. Good open field runner. Close to the first down to the 34-yard line with 1:48 to go. Gain of 11. Another first down. That'll stop the clock for a moment.
Once again, now they're coming underneath the zone here. They're letting those linebackers get back. And then look at Carlo Thomas still hustling to make things happen. The fullback coming out of the backfield trying to get down and block.
First down 10 from the 34. Healy, who replaced Marcus Wilson, wants to throw again. It's complete to a civilian inside the 20. They'll stop it again. Now down to 129. Vanderbilt trailing by 4. They're going nuts here at Commodore Stadium.
Well, they're going nuts on the LSU sideline, too. And, what a courageous effort by the Vanderbilt Commodores. Now it's lockup time. You've got guys that can cover in the LSU secondary. Time to cover them.
Healy under pressure. He's going around the right side. Healy 10. Healy 5. Healy down at the 4. It'll be first down goal. Vanderbilt at the 4. Healy couldn't find anybody, and the quarterback who got bumped aside after the embarrassing loss to SMU brings them down to the 4.
They lock up here. They go man-to-man. They're blitzing. They're coming after him, and Healy escapes from the pocket. And now everybody downfield is running man-to-man. They finally recognize him. Anthony Marshall saves the touchdown.
Marcus Wilson is going to come in for Vanderbilt after this timeout.
The fans give us that extra little boost we need when the game maybe not going quite our way. And certainly the reason we won 23 out of 24 down there at Florida Field in the Swamp is because of our fans. They are part of it. We all win together and we lose together also sometimes, but our fans are instrumental in the success we've had.
Well, I want the fans to have an appreciation for the player. I think they expect a championship team every year. I think every 8 years, statistically, Alabama's won a national championship. A lot of people hadn't won any. Alabama's won 12. They're high expectations.
Football is very serious at Auburn. It's played in the very best conference in America, and when we win, the whole town celebrates. There's nothing going on but football in the community. Everybody that is in the community is a part of the football game, and the town closes down for that football game.
What's in the heart of Watson Brown right now? First down goal, Vanderbilt at the 4 of LSU, trailing by 4, minute 12 to go in the game. Wilson back at quarterback. He keeps it. Touchdown, Vanderbilt. What a great fake by Marcus Wilson. This one, except maybe Watson Brown and some of those guys in the black jerseys. I know LSU didn't. Jura, who missed the field goal for the point after, it's a big one. It's good. It is a 3-point lead. This is not over. LSU has 3 timeouts remaining. Vandy leads by only 3, and as you well know and you saw, LSU can move the ball quickly. Spotting it at the 7.5-yard line of LSU.
You got Steve Meads playing weak linebacker, Gary Rogers on the strong side. These guys got to get some depth. You need to jam these receivers before they get downfield, before they stretch you.
Graves.
Rushing with 4.
Almost picked off. It was Donnelly diving in there. It's incomplete. Clock went down to 58 seconds.
See, that's Beckham running that pattern, and he's got to bring that more, he's got to curl that more inside to the open area. He kept it straight upfield. Graves wanted him to drift it inside. There wasn't anybody there. Run to the open area. And Donnelly, the SEC Freshman of the Year on defense last year, just makes a great play. Nice play, you bet.
Second down 10 from the 8-yard line. LSU trailing by 3. 58 seconds remaining. Graves. Time again. It is complete. A great grab by Kenshin all the way out to the 37. It took only 6 seconds. He got 29 yards, and remember, an LSU field goal ties it.
Now, one of the things that they don't have, they got Rod Keith in there, and Steve Meads has played a lot of football, but they need somebody to slap them around and say, listen, we're going to make some plays here. We're going to make something happen. We're not going to let this one get away from us. We are going to change it. On the other side of the ball, LSU, Saul Graves, keeping everybody calm. Read the pattern. I'll get you the ball. Give me some time, big boys.
LSU may not have to use their timeout since they're going in. Now they run the ball. That surprised everybody. Darrell Williams, that'll cause them to use a timeout. It ticks the clock down to 44, 43, 42. They'd call 2 plays in the huddle, 40, 41. Surprisingly a bit here. LSU running a lot of clock on that play. Graves. Plenty of time. Right down the middle. It is complete to Kinchin. He is stopped at the 42. Clock to 28 seconds. A gain of 16. Oh my. Hearts a-pounding. 28 seconds remaining in the game. LSU 2 timeouts remaining, trailing by 3. Saul Graves, plenty of time to throw over the middle. Has Kinchin wide open and missed it. Kinchin was in the open space. Clock to 22 seconds.
Rushed with 4, trying to work Kinchin to the sideline. They would like to get it in the end zone. I don't think that after kicker's performance against Georgia, where he had 2 extra points blocked, they want all the pressure to come to bear on that swing of the foot.
Suarez is 2 out of 3 on the year, had 2 blocked. His longest in college is 39 yards. Second down 10 from the 42. 22 seconds in the game.
They'll run some patterns at the sideline, Bob, but they'll try to get somebody down the middle of the field.
Graves getting good protection. Gandolfo hit him just as he threw it. It's incomplete. Gandolfo shot up the middle, and that affected the pass. Clock down to 17 seconds, and it is 3rd down for LSU. Woo! You cannot ask for a more exciting football game than we have seen today. Everybody had written Vanderbilt's entire season off to 0-11 after losing big to SMU, except the Commodores and except for Watson Brown.
It could have been the best thing to happen to them because they were totally embarrassed and humiliated, and they were put down in the press here locally, and people were wondering if they ever could play and win a game this year, as you pointed out. But regardless of what happens here, they've had a valiant effort. 2 true freshmen on the field here now.
And LSU is going to have to use their timeout. They have 1 remaining now. Timeout LSU. 17 seconds to go. 1 timeout remaining for LSU. And they had 3 wideouts in there right now. As Graves talks on the sideline to Archer.
Well, what Archer is talking about is that the play clock was down to 0. And that they had just taken too long in the huddle.
So Vanderbilt's defensive unit gets over on the sideline again. You see the coaches urging those defensive players on. They have really 2 plays they'll have to defend here for the whole ball game, leading 24-21. And look what Vandy has coming up. At Alabama, Syracuse, at Auburn, at Georgia, Ole Miss. It's tough, but they're all tough. This is the SEC.
Graves had misfired a couple of times. They're putting in Chad Luke. And as you mentioned, Bob, Mike Archer said this is the kind of guy that will grab those linemen by the face mask and say, keep them off me. I'm going to put it in there for you.
3rd down, 10 at the 42, and freshman Chad Luke at the quarterback helm. Vanderbilt trying to get pressure, none there. Kinchin's there, incomplete. The double coverage was there. Clock down to 11. LSU will get 1 more shot at it. Every play a nail biter. Every play the potential winning touchdown for LSU.
Now watch Robert Davis. Watch Robert Davis on the bottom of your screen. You got a true freshman there, Aaron Smith, coming in over behind it. Ball just a little bit underthrown. Almost had the opportunity to make that catch. But excellent play by a true freshman.
4th down, 42-yard line of Vanderbilt. The last hurrah for LSU in this game. Luke, he's got time. It's high and long. Vanderbilt is there. A touchdown, LSU, an unbelievable grab by Kinchin. There is a penalty marker on the field. A 42-yard touchdown pass. It's going to hold it just a moment. This may go against LSU. Let's hold it here. Now, Al Ford, offensive pass interference. If that's the call, this will come back. The clock went down to 3 seconds. This will drive Mike Archer to his knees when he hears it. We think we overheard it with our sideline microphone. Here comes the call.
offensive pass interference on the play.
The flag
He
went
lost
down.
the down. The ball would go over this way.
The flag went down prior to the ball getting there. The flag was called before Kitchen made the reception.
They're going to the end zone with it. Luke puts it up in the air. They feel like they got the guys that can leap. And it must have been seen. It must have been prior to that. Watching a ball come down. Yes.
The ball turns over to Vanderbilt. They have only to run out the clock and snap it one time with 3 seconds remaining. And it looked as though the call could have come. I'm not making a choice on the call. It was so close. It looked as though Kitchen may have pushed one of the Vanderbilt players prior to moving away with his arm, Derek Wellham, number 47. That's all I saw that could possibly have been called offensive pass interference. Vanderbilt upsets LSU 24-21.
After the game, Mike Archer blasted the officiating, saying he had never seen an offensive interference in a jump ball situation. It gave Watson Brown's club their only win of the season. Meantime, the wheels came off the Tigers' wagon as they lost 5 of their last 8 games to close out the year. A disappointing 5-6. It cost Archer his job. I'm Bob Pasella saying thanks for watching. Join us next time on Sports South's College Football Flashback.